Hello and welcome back to another episode of GameHammer Extra, where today we're talking about the various gaming pickups and interesting objects that I've been able to pick up for the retro collection, which you can see all around me. And let's get straight into it. So the first thing I've got for you is not a retro game, but it's a retro music system. This is a stylophone, and there's a few videos all over YouTube where people play these and make rather good covers of modern songs. So I'm going to get it out because this is the original style box. If you knew this in the 70s and 80s, that was the type of box you got. And you'll have to excuse the fact that I'm a little bit full of cold at the moment. But let's have a look at the actual machine. It's rather nice, actually. It's all perfectly clean. We've got a push on there to get the stylus out. And then you'll see that the thing is still attached. And beep, 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 beep. So, yeah, it's all here. All really nice. Picked this up at a... It was a charity shop doing a vintage, antique store effect thing for Christmas. So I picked that up as a little present for myself. I'm very, very happy with this. Am I going to make an awful lot of music with it? Probably not. Am I very good at music? Not very much. Am I going to play it anyway? Oh yes, you definitely know I'm going to play this thing. So yeah, stylophone, really happy with that. Really good condition. But it wasn't the only thing I picked up at that same thing, because I managed to find a RAM joystick port for a ZX Spectrum. You can tell I instantly knew it was ZX Spectrum because that bar there's a tiny little bar in the connectors on the edge connector port. That is an indicator of ZX Spectrum. For some reason, I can't remember what exactly off the top of my head. There is a split in the edge connector on a Spectrum. There it is. So I looked at this thing and thought, okay, that's for a Spectrum. One joystick port on it. What is this thing? Must be a joystick interface, probably a Kempston style joystick interface. And that's what I was looking for, because I've got the standard Spectrum style on the side of the ZX Spectrum Plus 2 that I've got, but never seen a Kempston interface. And when you combine it with something like this, which is the DKTronics Box extra stylish keyboard version, it's the upgrade for an original ZX Spectrum. There's the expansion port with the cut in it. This doesn't have a joystick port. It wasn't designed to have a joystick port. But if you plug this in the back, Kempston interface. Great idea. This is, by the way, from James Pets, who is a regular on my streams, and I have to fix it up and then we'll see whether he wants it back or whether I can buy it from him. But at the moment, it's here to fix up, and that's going to be on one of my vlogs on either this channel or my second channel where I do my vlogs. I haven't decided which yet, but it will be happening fairly soon. I'm hoping January, because that would be a great time. So yeah, that's very nice. Really happy to add that. That wasn't the only thing either that I got from this charity vintage antique thing. I was a bit upset that it was a vintage antique thing, and I was getting retro computer stuff like this. Gunshot, it's called. Gunshot CNL. It's by CNL. It's a joystick. And it looks like it's going to be grey on the side. It's mainly marketed for Commodore. But it's not grey on the inside. It's black. It's a black version. And it's a really, really nice joystick. Works on Amstrad, Spectrum, Commodore, Atari, basically anything with the Atari port on it. So probably Atari ST and Amiga as well. Haven't tried them on those, but put it on my Amstrad, played a game in Paperboy. Really, really nice. Nice joystick, nice fit in the hand. It's fairly solid. Buttons are great. Love it. Absolutely love it. This is a great joystick. So that was nice. Weirdly, in the same charity shop, I also got something very, very strange. This is not a calculator. Well, it is a calculator. It works as a calculator, but it's not a calculator. It's a mouse. So what we've got here is weird, and I had to pick this up because it's really interesting what it does. On PCs, it does not work on Mac. I plugged it in the Mac and it just didn't do anything. This is for PCs, especially laptops, small laptops that don't have a numeric keypad. Yeah, it's a mouse and a numeric keypad and a calculator all in one. So if you've got your laptop and it doesn't have a numeric keypad, but you want to play a game that requires a numeric keypad for movement, or it's an advantage to have a numeric keypad for movement. I'm thinking Original Civilization, something like that. Or you just need to use the numeric keypad because you're used to typing numbers in very quickly on that specific display. That's actually quite a good tool. So I've got this, and I'm going to do a short GameHammer, it'll be a GameHammer extra where we look at weird stuff, and this will be on it. So I'm really interested to see how that goes. Now, something dropped on the floor when I picked that up, and what that something was Rock and Wrestle. This is sealed. It's a sealed Amstrad game. You can see the seal around it. It's still got the plastic wrap. I've got 2 of them. The idea is in January I'm going to do a contest and give one of these away. It's new old stock. I got it from a place called The Future Was 8-Bit, which is where I got a lot of other stuff. And that's where you can get things like the DivMMC Future, the SD to IEC, and things like that. They allow you to use SD cards or USBs and use them to load software directly into an original piece of hardware for the Commodore, Spectrum, things like that. I would love them to do a version of the DivMMC for the Amstrad, because I think it would work really well as a way of basically expanding on the multiphase 2 idea that was around back when the Amstrad was around, where you can just take a snapshot of what you're doing at that precise point. Game doesn't have any saves, snapshot. You've got it there. That kind of thing. I think that would work really well. Also, it would be nice to have a button that just brings up a display and you can see on screen what you're trying to do. It's something that's lacking from the usual range of Gotek-style Amstrad expansions, like the flopper that I use, because I have to actually lean over into here. You can't even see it here. Never mind on a live stream. The flopper is behind the disk drive that's just here. And the reason for that is because it's attached to the disk drive expansion port. It works, but it's a little cumbersome and I have to get off screen, and therefore there's no one on screen while my stream is going in order to change a game on the Amstrad. So it would be nice if I had the menu, that's all I'm saying. But either way, the flopper works really well. The DDI4 and DDI5 that Zaxxon sells these days are really good, and he's the guy that did the flopper, so I know it's going to be good because he did that and it's great. But I would like a menu, that's what I'm saying. It does sometimes feel like when you're in the retro community and you say things like that, it's like, well, I would like my chariot to be gold, please. You know what I mean? But if wishes were horses, mine would be taken out and shot, let's put it that way. What else do we get? Well, recently Jen decided that I needed a little pick-me-up kind of gift, you know, like, thanks for all your hard work with the various channels and stuff like that. So she bought me Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the original Nintendo. This is a great game. I know I've bashed it in the past. I know other people have bashed it in the past, but I actually kind of like this game. It's quite strategic in how you do an awful lot of it, and it's much longer compared to the Amstrad CPC version, which I've completed on one of my streams. And you can actually see a full playthrough on one of my streams. Can you see it? I think there is a full playthrough on my channel. So it's worth having a look at that. If there's not, it will be soon, because I've just remembered. But yeah, Turtles on Nintendo. Great, love it. But that wasn't all either, because I went out and picked up a lovely little Star Trek game. This one I picked up because I saw it on YouTube. Someone was talking about it and how it was pushing the boundaries of what the Nintendo could do, the Super Nintendo even. So it's Star Trek Starfleet Academy Starship Bridge Simulator. And it's really good. It's like playing Star Wars X-Wing or Wing Commander, only you're on the bridge of the Enterprise. And that is just so good. It's only about the original series and the films. It's got a lot of scenarios from those shows, and it's wonderful. I'm going to try and do a full playthrough of this in 2024. That'll be really nice. I think that'll go down rather well, and I really like it. But even that's not everything, because I've got a little pile here. It's great. So what next? Well, Sonic Spinball. Really good pinball game. Really enjoyed playing this. No box for this one. I went unboxed for it because it was a hell of a lot cheaper to find. So yeah, adding this to my Sonic collection. I don't know whether it will fit into this one that I've also got, which is Sonic and Knuckles. I don't have Sonic 3 yet, but Sonic and Knuckles, I wonder if I plug these two together, will that enhance anything? Could I play as Knuckles in Sonic Spinball? I don't know. definitely got to be worth a try, hasn't it? I don't think it'll work, though. Pretty sure this only works with Sonics 1, 2, and 3. But I'll see. You never know until you try. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Really enjoyed playing it as well. It's a great pinball game. I had a lot of fun while testing it out. But even that wasn't it. Dead Angle. Now, this is weird. I ordered this unboxed because it was incredibly cheap, like a couple of quid. Boxed, it was a lot more, but a couple of quid for unboxed. So, really good condition game. No manual for this. Box in reasonable condition. Supposedly unboxed. The only thing I can think of is that the card holder is a little loose. It does rattle around a bit. But it could possibly be because the hook is off partly, so it's got a bit of a spike. I don't know. Is that why you would class it as unboxed? I think whoever traded this in at CEX got had, to be honest with you, because they should have got a few more pennies. But hey, their loss is our gain, and it shouldn't be like that, but sometimes it is. What else we got? National Geographic Safari Adventures in Africa. This is by Blast, so you know it's not going to be top quality. It's weird. It's a bit silly. It really could be an interesting educational game, but it just doesn't go that little extra step. You have a character who wanders around, talks to animals, the animals talk back, everyone seems to be having a great time and are very friendly. Even the predators, like the wolves that are in there that look like foxes. It's a silly, silly game, and I don't quite get what age it's aimed at, but whatever age it is, it's not doing a very good job at aiming. It's daft. Still, it adds to the collection. We are now 7 games away from 85%. I am so close to 85% on the set, and we will be doing more of the go-throughs and explaining what's in every set. I think we're up to L. I think I've just done L the other month on this PlayStation set tour, so we're up to M now, and that'll be fun. That'll be coming in January, because I've got to pace myself. I know I've already talked about Curse the Eye of Isis before. We actually played this on some live streams, and it's a really interesting game. Again, no manual, but good quality case, and it's a lot of fun. As survival horror games go, this is one to look out for. It's creepy, it's weird, and I like it. But even that isn't everything, because I've had a donation from the Mighty Space Chicken. Mighty Space Chicken, if you come along to any of my live streams, you'll know who that is. He's a really nice guy, and he has an old PSP game that he doesn't use, and said, I know you're an ice hockey fan. Would you like a copy of Gretzky NHL? And I said, that sounds very interesting, thank you very much. So he sent it over, and yeah, it's a good game. I've been playing it this afternoon. Really good. I'm enjoying it. So much so that it's not actually in the box because it's still in the PSP. Manual here and everything. It's great condition. That is pride of place in my collection now. Thank you so much, Mighty Space Chicken. Really enjoyed that. But even that's not it. Oh my goodness. Because when I picked up the Star Trek game, I also noticed that there was a Doctor Who game that I didn't have. So, Doctor Who Evacuation Earth on the Nintendo DS. I don't know whether the game's in here. Yes, it is. I was playing it earlier on. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's not a long game. You can probably complete it in under 2 hours. It's pretty simple, but it's a kind of follow-on from, what is it, Destination Earth or Save the Earth or something like that. The Wii game, which I was surprised at. It's like, okay, so I've got the Wii version, but I need to play this other one to finish the story? Well, I had to get it, especially when it was like 3 or 4 quid. I mean, come on. Manual's here, great condition. Really interesting game. Very, very simple, though. Strangely enough, not a bad Doctor Who game. A lot of Doctor Who games aren't very good. That one seems okay. Very simple, but seems okay. But even that's not it, because I managed to find this in a charity shop as well. Pippa for Now. And yeah, it's a horse game. You know we like our horse game. No, we don't. All here, great condition. Everything's in great condition in this. It's almost like it was never played. And yeah, it's not great. It's very, very basic. It's one of those games that is aimed at like 6-7-year-old girls. And because it's aimed for such a young audience, it has to be very, very simple. And because it has to be very, very simple, there's not an awful lot to it. So, not one I enjoyed that much, let's put it that way. But even that wasn't the final one, because I had to save the best for last. Dark Souls. Oh yeah, played this a little bit before, not from the start, but played it a little bit when I saw it at a friend's one time. Interesting game, I thought. Never got round to getting a copy, so I got it. And I started playing it on the Friday night show, just this Friday gone in fact. And I instantly fell in love. This is a hard game, yes, it's notoriously hard, but the weird thing is, I found it fair. It doesn't go out of its way to cheat. It doesn't go out of its way to say, oh, we're going to make this really, really obnoxious in terms of design or control or level layout or anything like that. No, it's just hard. Proper, old school hard. You know, where you feel like it's a challenge. If you get your skills up, you'll be able to compete because it's not going to try and move the goalpost or anything like that. And it rewards patience. I like this. Managed to get through the first boss, you know, the intro boss, the big flying fat green dragon thing, and thought, yeah, I'm going to be all in on this. So yeah, expect me to see more of this, because I'm going to try and complete the whole thing on our Friday night shows. So that's going to be what takes up for a bit. Now, speaking of what's taken up for a bit and our plans for the new year, GameHammer will continue with its 5 nights a week streaming. I may go to 3 hours on some of the evenings. I may go to 3 hours on all of the evenings. Haven't decided yet, but either way, it's going to be interesting. Also, the Vlogs channel, it's sticking around. If you haven't seen it before, it's usually linked in the end of the show, or it'll be in the description bar down below. That's where you'll find all my vlogs, like my daily stuff, when I get back to doing daily vlogging, which I want to get back to. But also, it's got a podcast on there, The Political Ring. And that's where I talk about all the news of the day. Jenny often turns up. I'm trying to get a load of expert guests in if I can. It's going to be quite interesting. Jenny's got 2 channels too. She has Jennifer Kirk, Model Railways, which is her main one, and Jenny Kirk 2. Both of those cover model railways in different scales, which are great. We also have a 5th channel. It's called All Mouse Media. Currently, it's mostly me talking about Star Trek. I'm reviewing every single episode of Star Trek from the original pilot, The Cage, all the way through to the modern stuff. It's a lot of fun. I hope you like that too. But in the new year, there will be a 6th channel. Yeah, 6. Because Jen and I are now full-time YouTubers, so we've got to make this work for us, basically. 6 channels. The 6th one is going to be a kind of off-the-cuff, me reacting to online stuff and talking about the things I've found online. It's going to be interesting. I think you'll like it. It's going to have a very comedic side to it. And I'll be trying out an episode soon, and I'll link to that down below. And that'll be your pilot, your taster of what's coming in the new year. It's going to start in January, and that'll be fun. The final thing, though, we have a few magazines. So what have we got? The latest issue of Crash. Crash is a great magazine. If you're into the ZX Spectrum, you want to get Crash, because it's about the Spectrum. It's all covering all the new stuff that's going on with the ZX Spectrum, all the new games that have been released. It's amazing how many games are coming out for the Spectrum. It's one of the most loved computers ever, and you can expect that for a computer that basically defined the gaming genre that we know now. Fusion magazine has an annual. I don't think I'm in it, but I do write for Fusion magazine now, so bear that in mind when I say that. It's good. Yeah, I don't think I'm actually in it, because while they were writing this one, I was down with a very, very bad cold, so I missed the deadline and didn't get any stuff in it. It's just how it is sometimes, but it's well worth having a look. And Crash has got its own annual as well. I don't write for Crash, but I do write for Fusion. So, yeah, definitely worth looking at those. Fusion Retro Books. And as a final thing, Amtix magazine. Amtix magazine covers the Amstrad in the same way that Crash covers the Spectrum. It's by the same people at Fusion Retro Books. I write for it every single issue. It's up to issue 10 now, and unless we can get the subscriber base up, issue 12 will be the last. And we need to get more subscribers if we're going to keep going. It's just one of those things. I'm not going to say that it's anyone's fault. We have tried our best, but it's one of those unfortunate things that the abstract community, unlike the Spectrum, has a big fan base overseas. If we printed in French or Spanish, or to a certain extent German, we would have a much bigger reader base than we do for the English base. And it's just how it is. It's how the computer was popular. It was big in Spain, it was big in France, it was big in Germany. It was third, often possibly even fourth place in the UK. So yeah, it's just how it is. But if you're into the Amstrad and you want to have a look at Amtix magazine, definitely go to Fusion Retro Books and have a look. Every little helps with that one. That's all I've got time for today, guys. We're still completing even Final Fantasy... Why did I say competing? We're still completing Final Fantasy VII on Thursday nights. We're doing, at the moment, Lego Jurassic World on the Xbox 360. On a Friday night, it's Dark Souls on Xbox 360. Tuesdays, we're coding games. I'm actually making a JRPG-style game at the moment on RPG Maker MV, I think it is. Yeah. But we stopped that for Christmas because I'm coding a quick engine to make text adventures. Very simple, very quick, very easy text adventures, but nevertheless, a game engine to do it. So we're doing that on Tuesdays at the moment. And then after Christmas, we'll be going back to creating the, what's the word? JRPG. There we go. And then on Mondays, it's the Anything Goes Retro Gaming Show. You choose the games. Every week, it's different, and we have a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed today's pickups. Let me know what you think of those games. And down in the comments section, we can have a chat about retro. But please do check out the other stuff. And remember, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, because it really helps us not get eaten by the YouTube algorithm. But until next time, I've been Zoe Kirk Robinson. You've been watching GameHammer Extra Retro Gaming Pickups, and I'll see you next time. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Sam Yates, Retro Mickey 82, Mo Henry, and George Botterini. Thank you so much, guys.